Hello, welcome back. I'm going to talk about the book King Paimon and the Lord of the Silence, the Void and the Silence, the Lord of the Abyss. And our thematic is today about the mirrors and how one can, work, the different ways that one can work with mirrors. Of course, as I've said, one can get quite creative or daring because, when you have you put a larger mirror at a certain distance but quite close to you, and then you have like a fire or a candle or a strong light, it creates like shadows and light, and then you see the reflection in the mirror, and you see how perception changes, or how the light and everything shows different aspects or different things. So the mirror always works with light and dark, showing different things. So the mirror is quite magical in this way. And the other elements of the mirror, which, for example, the aspect of being able to reflect what is in front of it, and at the same time it's not able to show all the reality, just as our eyes, just what is in front of it, just what it reflects back. And of course, the other element which is important and which I quite like is the aspect of music regarding Paimon and the sound of music. Even a text which is written in a poem or hymn form, it does have a melody. It doesn't have a prose style. It's not a phrase. It's a poem. It's a hymn, and it does carry, as I've said, music or musical qualities. The way how the words flow, when one reads it. So there is this element of creativity, and it almost like opens the text up. It's an easier read for the eyes as well, because you don't have to follow a long sentence. It's just a few words, and then the text follows from up down. This is the hymn way. The eye goes from up down. It doesn't go left right or right left. It goes up down. It's really nice. So it's very pleasant read. I love to read from the book in loud voice as well. I will do for us as well, I promise. I just have a little issue because I have the text on my phone. I have to have it on computer so I can use my phone for recording. The other aspect of Paimon is the fire, which is the element of creation. It represents him as God Arzu. It's an old Semitic deity, and God Arzu represents Paimon. It is who he is. God Arzu is Paimon, in an older name, in an older culture. And God Arzu represents the sun, the god of west, or the king of the west, the element of desert, of fire, of the sun, of the creation, of the power of creation. The sun speaks too about knowledge, about wisdom, about illuminating something. At the same time, he carries, or he, as I've said, has the black mirror, which is the aspect of the hidden aspect, which represents knowledge. Knowledge, it's something that has to be seeking, has to be found, has to be understood, has to be gone after. There's the knowledge sometimes comes, but one has to be able to reflect, to see, to understand, and sometimes one has to go after the knowledge and get it. There's this unknown aspect of what comes with the knowledge that represents the abyss, the darkness of Paimon work. And he works with the mirror, as I've said, to show the different realities, or to have a more real, interesting. He uses the mirror to show a more real aspect of the world. Through illusion, the truth is revealed. And what he wants is the truth, but the illusion is a tool to show the different aspects, to go on the journey of seeking of knowledge. And then you have the clarity, which represents again the mirror, and then the mirror represents the soul. It's almost saying that the knowledge enters in the soul. It changes the soul through the power of the fire, the same way the fire has forged the mirror. And there's one step to other through time. There's always a connection between, even if it's a long time, the connection is still there. Now, if we think of the sand in the desert, that sand was once a different material, or the entire landscape was a different landscape in another time, and it will still change in the future, no? It is the element of change, the element of wind, the element of song, the element of music, the element of transformation. This is the elements that Paimon gives a deeper understanding through the mirror, through the other things, no? But finally, it is all knowledge. It is old knowledge, and it is all knowledge. It's knowledge, seeking wisdom, truth, going beyond things that are available in front of the eyes, almost saying going beyond the mirror, stepping away from the reflection, and, you know, almost like put the spy detective glasses, almost like you enter in a different role. No, you are behind or beyond in a different, in the mirror. As I've said, this reflection I have had with him the first time I saw him in a vision, in lucid dreaming, as I call it. Lucid dreaming is when we are awake, but it's almost like a dream. It's shown to you as a dream. It is as a vision. It is as a reflection of a mirror. And I was playing my music, and I see this market, and then I was sitting at that place, and almost like this mirror came in front of me carrying King Paimon, no? And that's the reflection work, that's the mirror work. In the book, the most beautiful part that I really, really love is the travel with him and the girl, or the woman, through the desert, and there is this dialogue between them. There's this connection between them sitting in front of the fire, talking, in the desert under the beautiful dark blue sky, with the stars. There's a lot of space, there's a lot of silence, represents Paimon so well. There's the talking, the voice, the knowledge, the wisdom, the sharing, the connection, And then they travel through the desert, and the girl is asking him different questions, and he answers so beautifully, and I really love the dialogue from the book. And there is, of course, the romantic feeling between them. There is the element of two souls, almost like the silence and the song coming together. The element of surprise, of excitement, of adventure, of something new, something beautiful, something long-lasting, eternal, something extremely beautiful and as romantic as it can be. And it is a large book, as I've said. It's 675 pages. Well, without the other pages, let's say, text, 670 pages text. The poems that goes on and on and on. But it's really a pleasant read. It's very nice to let yourself flow through the poem, And some other aspects I wanted to say about the colors that I have seen, which represent Paimon. So, of course, is the total black, the darkness, it is a blackness of the raven, of the crow, the type of blackness of the black clay, of this almost like I see like a sticky black substance. There's a deep black. There's like a clock. It's almost like you cannot even see him. It's all darkness. It's this invisibility, and not because you see it. He's there. You see his figure surrounded by the darkness, by they are not shadows, as I've said. It's really darkness, and then you have these black mirrors all around him. And the black mirrors, of course, represents the higher aspect of Paimon, the black mirror. And then the other part comes into the book where they decide to marry, and they have their beautiful wedding vows, he to her, her to him, and there's this goes quite on a lot of pages, their love declarations and their love vows, their marriage vows to each other. And there is a connection to the stars. It's almost like to say the stars are watching them move, through the desert. The stars are guiding them, and Paimon knows that he understands the things beyond things, the meaning of things, the element of time, the element of eternity, the element of each element, in its pure beauty form, as he's able to understand that sand is not only sand. He not only has known or knows, he was able to see. Now he's able to see the different transformation that all the elements have to go through. And the air element too is connected to Paimon. The air represents the music, the song, the life. There's this the vital element for life, as well as water is. And if one thinks, well, how does desert connect with water? Actually, it does very much. And the desert was two once, or ocean or a sea, and of course when you go to the sea or the ocean you have the sand, so they're very much connected. And the water is the creator of the sand. At the same time, the sand is almost like longing after the water. Another element which represents that is the camel, through the element of desert, sand. It's an animal which is from this is more adequate from all the animals to cross the desert. Is the camel, and he or she, the camel, is the one who will always bring you to safety, always bring you to water. And the camel knows the secret of the desert. The camel too is connected with the desert in this way. There is a calmness, to the camel. There is a beautiful feeling of trusting, of knowing which is the place with which one has to reach, and what is awaiting one there. And sometimes there are even lagoons in the desert, so there is not to say the desert is all sand and nothing else. That will be quite a mistake. Sometimes you can find very beautiful lagoons in the desert, or when you cross it, there are parts of it. At the same time, the desert represents, of course, the vastness, the eternity. It represents the element of something very big. So in the distance and in the material itself, that the sand, the entire sand you see, is composed of very tiny little grains of sands, and all together, it's very much. That's why sands represents time, because there are so many, the eternal time, even sand is used sometimes to tell time. So things are connected. That's what Paimon wants to teach. Things are connected. If one knows how to flow, dot, one point after another, and you can even return it back. There is always almost like the hand, with the fire of creation, to say, well, I carry this fire in my hand, and I carry this power, and one can move through it. One can create a space, and can create even a pathway through the desert. One is able to understand that the vastness of the desert is not to be feared, but one has to be good prepared. One has to have knowledge about the desert. One has to be equipped, to go through the desert. You need some elements, and of course you need a camel. So if without a camel, almost to say, Paimon cannot. So the camel is very important for Paimon. The camel is the guardian. The camel is the protective spirit, the knowledge one, the one that knows where, how to cross the desert, and how to bring one to safety and to water. And then I see the color green and blue, which is very much connected to the water, of course. Blue, sometimes green as well. Water can be green, blue, which is very, very beautiful. It's almost like an emerald, bluish, greenish, it's almost green and blue combining in water together, especially the element of green of the emerald. Of course, that shows to the richness, the beauty, the purity, the gorgeousness, the quality of the water. And the color green, of course, represents vegetation, it represents life as well. The color green is it gives energy. It's a energy-giving color. Blue is more like a opening type of color. No, the blue is. I know people think blue is dark, but it's not. Blue is the one who calms the colors. Almost to say you cannot not have a blue in a painting, only if you decide not to. But the blue is part of the painting. No. It balances the other colors out, and it's very beautiful to use in a painting. Color blue is really nice. I use more blue than green, but I do use green as well. Maybe more green than blue. But I do work between these two colors because I make my trees, I make my green, my grass, my landscape, and then I even put green sometimes in the sky, connecting, or blue. And then other colors for Paimon are yellow and orange, which represents the burning sun. He represents God Ars, or the sun. It's a sun deity. He's a sun deity. And of course, for me, it does make sense if other things, well, it's darkness, how can he represent the sun? Well, because he is the one who carries that, no? And there are both beautiful qualities to the dark and to the light. There is, of course, need of both. There is the darker color, there's the element of not knowing, where things can flourish. At the same time, they are connected. The same quality has the white as well. If you think color black and white, even if they seem so opposite, because they are one totally left, one totally right, on the scale. Well, and in between you have the colors. You have left white, let's say, colors in between, and then you have on the right the black. But the black and the white are actually very much connected, and they carry both the same quality in each other. And of course they do have some differences, There's the opposite element of how the pigment is. In the black you have a very dark pigment, a very dark black. It's very beautiful. Then you have, if you put white in it, it gets a little lighter, it gets into the gray. If you put white and then you have a little black, of course it creates, it's not white anymore, it's gray. And it's very nice when you use white and then you use a gray, then you use black, in paintings, if you create a baseline for rivers from the mountains or anything, where, as I've said, gray is an important color as well. It's not like I can make a painting, I can only paint with color. It will be, so the gray does come into it, the black and the white, of course. In some paintings I use more of this element, in some very little. Sometimes I like to use blue instead of black, because I've said black can be very harsh, so I like to, as I've said, in normal paintings use a little bit, but I'd always use, and if I want to create a painting where it's all black, I take like black ink or some material where I can combine. I don't want it all black and nothing. I want some type of texture and richness on that black. And if I have a place where I put all black and then it's still wet and then I put white on it, it's very interesting what happens. The white does transfer into the black, and it does melt into the black, and depending how much white I want, I have to use more white than normal, because I have the black background, and I like to make lines with the brush, or I make spots with the white on the black, So one can work quite well with these two colors, and the color aspect is different. The blue, the orange works very well together. The green with the yellow, the green with the orange as well. Green and blue function very well together. So colors in general are very connected to each other. And it is a mirror in a way, because you know, any painting, any creation, it shows something from the inside out. It's almost like you bring something that's in the inside, bring it on the outside, and you try to make it as much as possible, At the same time, as an artist, I at least like to leave myself free. Even if I have a vision or idea, I like to paint after feeling. I call it intuitive painting. As my writing as well, I call it intuitive writing. That gives me the freedom of saying, well, I write intuitively, it comes naturally to me, I paint intuitively, I listen to the color, I go after my feeling, I have that sensitivity, and once I have the practice, the hand, it's a nice mixture. You have the technique, and then you have the feeling of the color, the feeling of the artist, and you can create your own rules. There's a world of your own, and that's the beautiful aspect of it. So the color does give freedom, the color does give beauty, and the color does carry more than just the pigment on the paper, One can look very deep and very long at color or at a painting, especially when all the colors are designed in a beautiful way. It's very pleasant to the eye. And green and yellow function very well as well. Pink, red, and green. It's an amazing combination. It's almost like it's always nice to discover, each painting. One can look and say, wow, these colors are just amazing. How it's like, say, the coldness or the darkness of the blue brings even more outside the fiery aspect of the orange. Through being in opposition, this is what happens. And the blue is even more blue and more light into the blue through the element of white, or through the element of yellow, or through the element of orange or red, So that those colors carry the fire, carry those elements. Blue carries the air, the water, brown, black, or creates the earth, the green, the musk, all the things you find in nature. It's all a combination. You go into the wood, you walk, you don't see only trees, you see earth, you see leaves, you see branches, you see different colors, coming together. Different plants, different spots of color, and that's how I paint. I try to imagine those details that one sees. And there's another part of the perspective of the mirror, of to say where is the mirror, or in general paintings are up front. So my eyes, the mirror is exactly in the front of the painting, as it should be, and then it is almost like the painting is reflecting its mirror towards the viewer, and it reflects different things, depending who is seeing, who is observing the painting. It's almost like it's a secret language, it's a secret message that the painting carries for each person differently. And of course, the connection that the artist or the painter or the creator of the work, of the painting, in this example, is the one who has a deeper connection to it, being the creator, The connection is not a distant one, it is very close up. It's a very intimate connection that one has through the art of painting, through the creation process, through the moment you take the brush and put it in the water, and you take the color and you go for it. That's to say, that's your freedom. That's the aspect of creation. It's always very much connected to freedom. Art is freedom, and there is no rule to say, well, it's you cannot put black. I'm not saying that there is a rule necessarily when you paint. I only say what, from my experience, which colors look well together and maybe inspires you to paint. As I've said, there are no rules. No one can tell you, why did you put the orange near the white? Well, I don't know. I cannot say why. There is no reason why I chose white, and I could have, and it's not the point. The point is the painting, the entire aspect of it. and how the colors flow and how how well the colors work together, no? So as a painter you have to know about colors, about shapes, about how things are, you know, depending what your subject is, no? For me it's the landscape, because that gives me the most freedom, and that's the beautiful aspect of the painting. I'm going to end here. Thank you so much for listening. Wish you a wonderful day. Until next time, all the best. Bye.